Good day, physics champion. Welcome to my channel, the best place for physics teachers, physics students, and for physics explanation. In this video, we will go through the last 10 years past papers, especially paper 2, about measurements and density. Please stay in. I got 66 questions, paper 2, for the last 10 years. In this video, we will go through the first 30 questions, then the rest will be in the coming video. To download these questions, I will leave the downloadable link on the description. In the first question, a student measures the length of root xy by holding it next to a ruler or a meter rule. The student writes down the length as 94.8 centimeter. Which statement is correct? A, the value is correct. Actually, no, because in these cases, we need to take the final reading minus the initial reading. So here, if we said this is R1 and this is R2, so the reading should be final, which is R1 minus R2. This is the correct way to find the length of the root xy. But in these cases, the students take the reading just only for y end, and he ignores the reading for x end. So A is not correct. The value is incorrect because it should be 95.2. Even 95.2, it's not the right answer because I did not start from 0. So the value is incorrect because it should be in millimeter. Actually, the measuring unit here, it's not a problem once when you read it in a correct way, but still the reading is supposed to be in centimeter, not in millimeter. So again, C is wrong. D here, the value is incorrect because the students should subtract the reading for end y from the reading for end x. And this is what we said, final reading minus initial reading. So the correct answer here, it's supposed to be D. In question 2, the diagrams show the readings on a measuring cylinder before and after a small metal cube is added. So before adding the cube, the volume was 3. By adding one single cube, the volume upgraded to be 5 centimeter cube. How many more identical cubes can be added to the cylinder without causing the water to overflow? Do not include the cube already in the cylinder. That was in language clear. By adding one cube, the reading increased by 2 centimeter. The reading increased by 2 centimeter cube. And it means we still have from 5 to 7, this is 1 cube could be added. From 7 to 9, this is 1 more cube. But if you add 1 more cube, the third one, the water will be overflow from the graduated cylinder. So the right answer here is just 2 cubes could be added. So the right answer is supposed to be B. In question 3, a cook wants to prepare some food to be cooked by 1:15 p.m. He uses an oven with an automatic timer that can be set to switch on and off at a certain times. The oven needs to be switched on for 2 hours, 10 minutes. This is the time we're going to be enough to cook the food. At which time does the oven need to be switched on? If the food should be prepared by 1:15, it means 2 hours and 10 minutes before. 2 hours before, it means like about 11, and 10 minutes, it means 11:05. So depending on that, the right answer will be A. In question 4, since wishes to measure accurately the volume of approximate 40 centimeter cube of water, she has 2 measuring cylinders, as you see here, a large one that can hold 100 centimeter cube and a smaller one that can hold 50 centimeter cube. The water forms a meniscus where it touches the glass. So this is what we mean by meniscus. This curvy part here, this is what we call it, meniscus. Which cylinder should the students use, and which water level should he use to ensure an accurate result? If you go over the answers, you have found I'm gonna use the smaller one, the smaller cylinder. It means the precise will be less and the accuracy will be more. So I'm gonna write here, it's the smaller one. So the right answer is supposed to be C or D. And the water level should be the bottom of the meniscus. So I'm gonna choose the bottom of the meniscus here. So it means, depending on that, the right answer is supposed to be C. In question 5, the diagram shows a measuring instrument. This is a measuring cylinder. Which quantity is this instrument used to measure? It cannot be measure area because area could be calculated. Density could be calculated also. We have a law here, mass over volume. The mass, this is for balance. The volume of liquids supposed to be measured by graduated cylinder. So I'm gonna go directly here to D. That was easy. In question 6, the diagram shows 4 identical shapes placed between 2 wooden blocks on a ruler, and they said what is the diameter of one shape. So when I take the diameter here, it means I'm gonna give you the diameter for this 4 spheres. The reading here is 4 and the reading there is 12. So the total, I'm gonna write that here, total radius or the total diameter, it's diameter here in the question. So the total diameter for the 4 spheres is supposed to be 12 minus 4. And I'm going to use the same measuring unit in the question, which is 8 centimeter. This is for 4. So when I say divided by 4 to find out the diameter for one sphere, I'm going to give you 2. So the right answer is supposed to be B. That for question 6. In question 7, the diagram shows part of a ruler. The ruler is used to find the length of a nail, again from the beginning to the end. As I could see here, the initial reading is 1.0, the final reading is 3.7, so it's supposed to be 2.7, so I will go directly to B. That was question 7. In question 8, which instrument is used to compare the masses of objects? You know, to compare the masses of objects supposed to be balance, because barometer, this is something else. Manometer, this is for pressure. Measuring cylinder, this is for volumes. Question 9, what is the most accurate and precise method to measure the thickness of a coin? The thickness of any piece of coin is less than 25 millimeter. So I supposed to use micrometer screw gauge. So I'm gonna use here, I'm gonna choose A as a correct answer. In question 10, a geologist compares the volume of 3 rocks, X, Y, and Z. 3 measuring cylinder contains different volumes of water. He places each rock into one of the measuring cylinder. The diagrams show the measuring cylinders before and after the rocks are put in. So that was before it was 20, then when I drop it, it upgraded to be 70 and so on for the rest. The question is, which row shows the volume of X, Y, Z in order from the largest to smallest? Let's take the reading directly here. For X, it's from 20 to 70, it's supposed to be 50. So it is 50 centimeter cube. And in the other one, it's from, I can see here, it's 27, so this is 27, and upgraded to be 78. So the difference between them directly, it could be, here we have 1, and this is 51 centimeter cube. The last figure, the reading here is 33, yes, it is 33, and the reading there, it's 79. So if you just subtract that, I'm going to give you 60, and here we have 4, so 46 centimeter cube. So depending on that, if I arrange them from the largest to the smallest, I'm going to start with 51, then 50, then 46. It's going to be YXZ, YXZ. So the right answer here, it's supposed to be B. This is for question 10. I think we saw that question many times. So I'm going to say again, the initial reading and the final reading, I'm going to subtract them and be careful when it comes to the measuring unit. So when I do so, the right answer will be A. And remember, in We have another answer, it could be right, which is 1.9 centimeter. So this is correct and this is correct. But when it comes to 19 centimeter here, it is wrong. So the right answer is going to be 19 millimeter. And you need to respect the measuring unit mentioned in the question. In question 12, students uses a ruler to measure the length and the width of a small rectangular metal plate. What is the area of the plate? They give you the two dimensions, the length and the width. So I'm going to take the initial reading here, which is negative 0.2, and the reading here is 4. So the entire length is going to be 4.2 centimeter. For that section, it could be, this is 0.5. The reading here is 4. So the entire reading, the difference between them is going to be 3.5. So 3.5 times 4.2 is going to give you 14.7. So I'm going to choose 14.7 here as an answer. So the right answer will be B. In question 13, which option contains only a brace that could be used to determine the volume of a small block of unknown material? Small block, we can use measuring cylinder or meter rule when it comes to the idea of volume here. Stopwatch, it has nothing to do with the volume. Balance, it has nothing to do with the volume unless if you know the density, but it's not mentioned in the question. And again, stopwatch here, it has nothing to do with the volume. So I'm going to go to option A. Measuring cylinder could be used if you immerse the block inside it and observe the increasing in the volume of water, or meter rule to find the dimensions. Then you could use these dimensions to find the volume. In question 14, diagram 1 shows a measuring cylinder containing water, as you see here. When I drop some steel balls inside this water, the volume of the water will upgrade it from 40 to 70. The question is, what is the volume of each steel ball? So the total volume is going to be 30 centimeter cube divided by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 30 divided by 5 is going to give you 60 centimeter cube. So directly the volume of each cube, it could be 60 centimeter cube. So the right answer here is A. That was question 14. In question 15, a cyclist rides around the track 3 times. So her friend uses a stopwatch to record the time at the start of the ride, after one circuit, and it is end of the 3 circuits. So we have 2 times here. At the start it was 6, after 1 circuit it was 180 seconds, then by the end of the 3rd circuit it was 600 seconds. So what is the average time for 1 circuit of the track? You know, they said here after 1 circuit, then after the end of the 3 circuits. It means after the end of the 3 circuits, the time upgraded from 6 to 600. So you can find out the total time, then divided by 3. The total time here, it could be 600 minus 6. So I'm going to give you 594 seconds. This is the total time, then divided by the total number of circuits, equal to 3. So I'm gonna write here divided by 3. If you go through this calculation using your calculator, you will reach to that answer, which is around 198 seconds for each circuit, right? So I'm gonna write that down here. It's C. That was question 15. In question 16, a stopwatch is used to time a runner in a race. The diagram shows a stopwatch at the start and at the end of a lap of the race. Okay, fine. Start of the lap, it was like 50 seconds and 10 parts out of 100 parts of the second. And the end of the lap, it was like 1 minute and 40 seconds and 10 parts out of 100 parts of the second. How long did the runner take to finish the lap of the race? You know, final minus initial, right? So, but be careful, because I'm gonna cancel this 1 minute and I'll take it here for 60 seconds. So I have 100 seconds in this section. Then you can do the subtraction normally. 100 minus 50, gonna give you 50 again. So the right answer here, it's supposed to be A. And this 10 will cancel this 10 when it comes to subtraction. In question 17, since uses a measuring cylinder to measure the volume of a quantity of water, which action would make her results less accurate? Make sure her eye in level with the water surface. This is correct, so I will not choose it. Making sure that the cylinder is vertical. This is also correct, so I will not choose it. Reading the bottom of the meniscus. Reading the bottom of the meniscus. This is correct, so that's why I will not choose it. Using the largest measuring cylinder possible. Actually, by increasing the volume of the cylinder, the accuracy will reduce. So this is incorrect, so I'm going to choose it because this will reduce the accuracy. So the right answer here, it's supposed to be D. In question 18, the diameter of a copper wire is thought to be approximately 0.3 millimeter. Which instrument should be used to obtain a more accurate measurements of the diameter of the wire? Again, we're going to use measuring tape, meter rule, micrometer ruler. This is just a wire, 0.3 millimeter. It's less than 25 millimeters. So I'm going to go directly to option C, which is micrometer. This is the highest accuracy one. In question 19, a student investigates the rate of flow of oil through a funnel. The diagram shows the experiment and the volume of oil in the measuring cylinder at the start of the experiment and 1 minute later. Fine. So here in this figure, at the start it was around 22. Yes, it's 22 here. When it comes to the reading, this is 22. Remember, no, this is 30. So that's 22. And the reading here is around 50. No, it is 70. So the volume upgraded from 2 to 70. What's the rate of flow of oil through the funnel during the 1 minute? During 1 minute, it means, and you have the measuring unit here, centimeter cube per second. As you see here, all seconds. So you're going to say that the change in volume divided by time, it means 70 minus 22 divided by time, which is 1 minute. It means divided by 60. So you will observe directly the answer is 0.8 centimeter cube. So I'm going to choose B. So this is 0.8. So I will choose B directly. In question 20, the diagram shows the height of a stack of identical coins. Stack of coins, I can count them, it's easy, and they said, the height is 2.4 centimeter. What is the thickness of one coin? What you need to do is just say that, the total height, which is 2.4, divided by the number of coins. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So divided by 12, it's going to give you the thickness of that, which is around 2 millimeter. So I'm going to equal 2.00 millimeter. This is the answer of question 20. In question 21, a length of copper wire is labeled length 30 meter and diameter 0.5 millimeter. Which instrument are most suitable to measure accurately the length and the diameter? The diameter is mainly micrometer because it's less than 25 millimeters. And the length of wire, when it comes to around 30 meters, it means we need to use tape because tape is longer than rule in most of the cases. So I'm gonna stuck with option D. I know we can use the ruler, but this is annoying to use the ruler here. The tape is much longer. In question 22, a measuring cylinder contains some water. A small metal block is slowly lowered into the water and is then removed. Finally, a piece of plastic is attached to the metal block and the block is again slowly lowered into the water. The diagram shows the measuring cylinder at each stage of this process. So the volume of water, it's here 55. Then the metal block upgraded to be 70. Then the metal block with the plastic upgraded to be 80. The question is, what is the volume of the piece of plastic? The volume of the piece of plastic is going to be the difference between 80 and 70. So this is the volume of water plus the volume of the plastic plus the volume of the metal block, which is 80, minus the volume of the metal minus the volume of water, which is 70. So directly 80 minus 70 gonna give you 10 centimeter cube. So the right answer here will be A. In question 23, the diagram shows a measuring cylinder used to measure the volume of a small stone. What's the volume of the stone? It's so clear the difference between them. So the reading here is 18. I have 5 divisions between 10 and 20. So each one division represents 0.2 or 2. So in such these cases, one division means 2 centimeter cube. So the reading is 18. In the second figure to the right, the reading is 26. So when it comes to the difference between them to find the volume, so when I say 26 minus 18, it could give you 8. So the right answer here again will be 8. For 24, someone measured the volume of cork. He puts some water into a measuring cylinder and then one glass bowl. He puts the cork and then a second identical glass bowl into the water as shown. Okay, fine. So diagram 1 shows the first water level. Diagram 2 shows the water level after one glass bowl is added. Diagram 3 shows the water level after the cork and the second glass bowl are added. What's the volume of the cork? Here is the idea. So I'm gonna write the volume of the cork. So V cork equal to the total volume, which is 100, but we need to subtract the volume of the bowl, which is from 50 to 60. So I'm gonna say times 2 times 10. 2 times 10, it means we have 2 bowls. I'm gonna remove the volume of them, and the volume of one glass bowl equal to 10, right? That's why I said minus these 2. Then minus the water itself. So the water is 50. If you do all this calculation, it means 100 minus 70, it gives you 30. So I will go to option A in such these cases. The last question for today is, a micrometer is used to measure the diameter of a uniform wire. As you see here, what is done to obtain an accurate answer? Make the micrometer horizontal? No, it doesn't matter because there is no fluid. Subtract the fixed scale reading from the rotating scale reading. Actually, this is not. We said in some videos before how to take the reading through micrometer. Please see this video. Actually, to subtract the fixed scales, it's not an option at all. For C, subtract the rotating scale reading from the fixed scale reading. Actually, this is not even correct. Use the scales to find the reading and add or subtract any zero errors. This is what we usually do. We're gonna add the readings in the 2 scales. Then if we have zero error, we need to adjust it. This is the idea. So I'm gonna go to option D. Okay guys, thank you for listening. If you feel that was helpful, please smash the subscribe button to avoid any missing videos. See you next video. Thank you.